So I wanted to do a separate video on this because a lot of you guys have been asking me lately to post. Sorry if you guys can hear a siren in the background. Somebody chasing somebody. I was like, who you after, sir? Ossifer, who you after? Anyway, sorry for the background noise. Some of you guys have been asking me what I get monthly in doTERRA, with doTERRA. I put in a monthly order every month. It's what we call our LRP, which is basically our loyalty rewards program. You save more money that way. If you're a wholesale customer, you know exactly what I'm talking about. You earn points, you get to spend on free stuff. Half the stuff that I got in my order, I didn't pay for. Technically, they came from like free rewards points, which I'm grateful for because over time, the more you spend, the more rewards points you get, the more free stuff you get. I'm grateful for that because I'm actually purchasing a lot, being pregnant, because I'm trying to build my arsenal of, stuff that I do want to use or would like to use in the future for when I'm like breastfeeding, or like things that are safer for baby because they're a little bit more mild, or things for myself that I needed in my arsenal, like to just live a healthy pregnancy, have a healthy pregnancy. One of them being the PB Assist. I typically get this when I buy my LLV, which is the lifelong vitality supplements I talk about all the time. I will do a whole separate video on that one. That one is long overdue. That one, I really want to take my time to talk to you guys about that because it's so special to me and special to my heart. It's part of the reason I got pregnant, and part of the reason why a lot of women actually get pregnant, and also part of the reason why my pregnancy is so smooth. I don't get nausea. I don't get sick. I can eat anything I want. I have no food aversions. I never expected pregnancy to be this easy. I'm not gonna lie. I was scared for my life, y'all. I didn't want to feel none of it. Like, I was terrified. I was like, I don't want to feel nauseous. I don't want to be sick. I want to be able to eat what I want. That's exactly what I do. Because I was like, I really don't want to like not be able to not hold anything down. And I'm actually, sorry if this is TMI for some of you, but I'm actually one of those girls that my hormones are often imbalanced. Like, my periods were never on time. Like, I always got UTIs if I drank like the wrong soda, like just the dumbest shit, and I feel like I have a very temperamental body, if you will, and I have temperamental genes. So it's like I wanted to do anything and everything to avoid the worst that could happen to me. And can I just tell you, I'm very grateful for doTERRA because they are 100% the reason why my pregnancy has been that smooth. With that being said, this PB Assist I typically buy with the LLV because when you buy your LLV pack, you can add extra supplements for low, like half the cost. So like you can add this on for like $20 versus the normal like $30-$40 I think that it runs. It's a 30-day supply essentially, but it's sometimes less. The way that we take it when we're pregnant is a little bit different than you would take it like on a normal basis. There's different directions depending on what you feel your condition is digestively, if you will. This is part of the digestion line. And this probiotic is so fantastic. But when I got pregnant, it made a world of a difference on like my yeast production and like my hormone balance and just being able to eat whatever the hell I want. Like, like it allows me to digest things that I'm just like, ooh, normally this probably would make me sick, but it doesn't. It does have a little bit of a weird flavor to it, I'm not gonna lie. Let me see if I can open it to show you guys. And it does taste kind of disgusting, I'm not gonna lie. But it's pretty cool. It's like this chamber moment. Basically, if you're pregnant, you would take it for 5 straight days of the month, the first 5 days of the month. You take it 3 times a day, so breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and then you take it once a day for the rest of the month until the bottle's gone. Because technically you need it to produce good flora, and then the single pill every day is for maintenance. So for example, if you were taking this on a normal, you're not pregnant, whatever, you're just taking it as a probiotic, they do recommend that you do it once a day. You can take it up to 3 times a day for like the first, I think it's like 10 days of the month or something like that. The dosage essentially depends on your system. Like, you need a probiotic in your life. This is probably one of the best I've tried, if not the best I've tried. I've tried a lot of different probiotics and they normally make my stomach go freaking bananas. Like, I can't drink Yakult. There's another probiotic that I took that I was like, oh hell no. So some oils that I picked up, let me talk about the pregnancy ones first and why I picked them up in the first place. So these two I really needed needed. We have fennel and clary sage. Fennel I picked up because fennel is really amazing for like circulation, digestion. It's very calming and very soothing actually, and bonus, it actually helps with like sweet cravings. So like if you get sweet cravings, you can actually drink it in your water, I think like 1 or 2 drops, and it kind of helps you with like sugar cravings. So this could also work for somebody who like craves a lot of sugar even when you're pregnant, or just in general. So I plan on sharing this with my mother-in-law because it'll help like regulate her blood sugar levels so that she doesn't like want to keep eating sweet stuff. Her and my father-in-law have this habit of like they really like sweet stuff in the house. I mean, we're Filipino, let's be honest, we have it all over the house, and it might like help, you know what I mean, like help like regulate that craving. I specifically got it for my hormone imbalance moment because this is going to be really good when I'm breastfeeding. So they recommend that you do fennel and clary sage. You could also do basil as like a hormonal like stimulation to like circulate your breastises so that you can produce a healthy milk supply. So I'm just preparing ahead of time because these oils are also like dual, you know, multifunctional. So I want to be able to have it so that if and when baby comes, I'm ready. And that I don't like suffer through like not being able to produce milk, because that's one of my fears as a new mom, is like I don't want to be able to, I mean, like my breast is feeling gorgeous enough as it is, but I'm like so scared that like I'm not going to be able to have enough milk for baby. So I just want to make sure that I'm producing it in a natural way, and I'm doing what I can to make sure that my circulation is stimulated and my breastises feel healthy. So part of the reason I got fennel was for that. That's a bonus. I thought that was really cool because it's really good for circulation, and I was like, oh, you don't say. So I'm really excited for that. It also does really help with fertility. So it's also an oil that is recommended if you are going through some fertility issues. I hate to say issues, struggles is probably a better word, because it helps with like hormone fluctuation. So it's also even good for those of you who have like a really rough menstrual cycle, which like I mentioned, I never get my period on time. So I figured this would also be really good for that moment. The clary sage I got because it's also really good for your menstrual cycle. Also really good for balancing hormones, including for breastfeeding. Like I said, these two go together. You cannot use clary sage while you're pregnant because it actually stimulates contractions and makes them stronger. So I was waiting for like afterward to use it, like after I have baby or when I'm about to give birth, to have this, because it's also very calming. So clary sage also has like a calming sort of quality to it, including calming on the skin as well. So it's calming topically, calming for nervousness and tension and anything like that. And which is kind of funny because if it increases contractions, you're just like, wait, how does it calm at the same time? It's a hormonal thing from what I'm told. Another one that I wanted to pick up was ginger. This one was 10% off this month. This one is also a little bit more on the expensive side. I was actually kind of scared to purchase it because I was like, oh, I really don't want to spend. But I know it's going to be worth it. This one's also good for those of you pregos that like get really nauseous. It's a little bit more gentle. It's easier on the stomach. You can use ginger for so many things. You can put it on your tea. You know that it's really good for immune support. I also like that it is calming and soothing. So like if you have stomach issues, you're really gonna love ginger. Of course, it's good for digestion for that reason. And if baby gets sick, like say baby's in the car seat and baby gets car sick, it's actually safer for children, more than peppermint and more than, there's another one that's really good for that. I can't think of it at the moment, but I know that there's so many oils for nausea and stuff, but this one is really good if you're really sensitive. So if you are the pregnancy kind of nauseous, and you guys know what I'm talking about, where like you're so nauseous that like you can't hold things down and digesting anything is like just such a pain and such a task, you're gonna want this. So for all you prego mamas out there that are struggling with that, I highly recommend a little bit of ginger. I'm totally willing to sample this to you guys that may need it, because I promise you it will work. And it's a little bit more gentle than some of the other oils out there, so I find that it's gonna work on your body a little bit easier during such a sensitive time when you're pregnant. So just FYI, highly recommend that one. Another one that I wanted to pick up was Juniper berry. I hear about this one all the time. This one comes in a tinier bottle at a 5 ml. If you guys look at the difference, this one's a full size 15 ml and this one's a 5. So there's a huge difference. It doesn't mean that this one is tiny. 5 mls tend to be trial sizes, but this one is just a differently sourced type of oil. So that's why it's smaller. You don't need a lot of her. This one is special. I took some notes on this one because this one's a lot. This one has some cleansing and purifying properties to it. So I really wanted to use it for that. I know that it's really good for kidney function, which I think is huge. So I also got this for my in-laws because they are actually going through a lot right now when it comes to kidney function. And I wish I had this around when my mom was here, because this would have been fantastic to make sure, like, to help with like a special blend for something that she may or may not have needed to make sure that her kidneys are functioning really well. So I feel like this is like one of those like small but powerful oils, you know what I mean? It does so much. And it's also really great for skin toner, which I thought was kind of cool. So there's, you guys know I like to make my own skincare now. Now that I have oils, I heavily use them in my skincare routine. So I wanted to pair this maybe with like tea tree or something like that to like probably create some type of like toner pad or something like that. That would be really great to like keep the skin nice and beautifully clear. I'm all about skincare right now because being pregnant, you just never know what your skin is going to be like. And even when I'm not pregnant, I'm super picky about what my skin's going to be like. So anything that's going to help me with my skin, I'm all about it. And I really love that this one is good to diffuse as well. So a lot of the oils that I like to use are ones that you can use topically, internally, aromatically, all of it, because I want to know that what I'm buying is so useful. You know what I mean? It can do anything you want it to. So definitely love that one. The one that I didn't get in my shipment yet, that hasn't shipped yet because I think it's on back order, is Cassia. But I still wanted to mention it because that one's an important one. Like I mentioned before, I'm very prone to like UTIs just from the most randomest of shit. Cassia is like the #1 oil for UTIs, so I wanted to make sure I had that in my arsenal because I don't know what my body is going to do now. I want to make sure that I'm ready for anything. And even before and after I was pregnant, I was very prone to UTIs, so I felt like I really wanted to have that. It's also really good for cardiovascular health. So another reason why I wanted to get it was for my blood pressure, because I have a history of high blood pressure and hypertension in my family, not with me. And my doctor actually temporarily prescribed aspirin to me for the time being so that I don't develop preeclampsia. But I wanted to just take it a step further and invest in Cassia so that I can have that in case my blood pressure does go out of whack. So far, so good. Thank God. It's like everyone else in my family suffers from hypertension except me. So I also wanted to try it with my in-laws because both of them have high blood pressure and hypertension. And I wanted to see how that does for them with a special blend. It's also really good for yeast production, which goes together with my PB Assist. So I wanted to make sure anything hormonal regulating, you know, anything that's going to regulate my hormones, I'm all about it right now because you just never know what's going to happen. On top of that, it's also really good for sugar cravings, which is very similar to the Fennel. Again, something I wanted to try with my in-laws. And you can actually cook with her because she's a nice replacement for cinnamon. Thought that was kind of cool too. My mother-in-law hates cinnamon, but I like to put cinnamon in things like French toast, which she loves. So I wanted to kind of try to cook with it and see if I can sneak it into stuff, you know what I mean? And see if it's probably a more mild form for her where she doesn't feel like she's tasting the cinnamon, but she still gets that like warmth and that feeling. So we'll see. I love that you can cook with doTERRA oils because you can't cook with any other oils, believe me. Like, some oils, I'm telling you, they'll tell you that they're 100% pure, and then on the back it says do not ingest and flammable, and you're like, but I thought you was 100% pure though. So 2 more oils. Sorry, this is getting to be a really long video. I'm gonna try to shorten it as much as I can. This is why I figured a YouTube video might be better for this kind of thing, because a 10-minute video is just so fucking long. But hey, I hope you're still with me. I also picked up Cedarwood. I'm gonna start producing heavily. So I needed another one of these because I had one and it was gone. It was just a sample size. It wasn't like a big full size. So I picked up Cedarwood because this actually, I put it in my lash serum. So I have a lash growth serum that I'm working on, and this is one of the main ingredients. This one is really good for clarifying the skin and promoting clear, healthy skin. It does have a soothing, grounding aroma, and it's also doubles as a bug repellent. And then I also picked up another eucalyptus because I was running out of her. Eucalyptus I use for so much. I feel like eucalyptus is kind of like, it's easy. You already know what eucalyptus does. Eucalyptus is really amazing for breathing, which Mark and I suffer from breathing issues, respiratory problems in general. He has asthma and I have chronic bronchitis. With a lot of the stupid bushfires going, I got this specifically for easy breathing reasons, and also just in general because I wanted to have it for like cleaning purposes. So I like using the eucalyptus in the house as well, and I like just diffusing it in general. So eucalyptus and mint are really good together. I really love that, and that's also a nice stress relief, which I really love. So got that just because it's like part of my normal arsenal. Okay, if you guys want to continue seeing these kind of videos and why I buy the oils I buy and why I use what I use them for, then let me know. This video was done on request because, like I said, I have a lot of people that ask me about, you know, the kind of oils that I use, what I use them for, if they're okay during pregnancy. But anyway, I hope this video was helpful and gave you guys some insight on the kind of oils that you can use when you're pregnant, and also just any oils in general that you may or may not have been interested in, because I know some of these oils were a little bit different for some of you. Not a lot of people talk about Cassia, not a lot of people talk about Juniper berry. You know, I know eucalyptus is super common. You guys already know if you have any questions on anything, I got you. So just let me know. You know how to hit me up. And I hope this video was super helpful to you guys. Bye!